Okay, another day, another dollar. We have finished with our demolition side, so we've got our wall out, we've got this load bearing wall out, we've got everything propped up with acros. Focus of today is to get this up to steel level, get the pads and the steel on, and then we can move over to that side and we can look at this pillar here and getting the pad stone on for our steel there as well. We'll set up a time lapse and you can watch us work. Change of plan. We cannot get these bricks here or these joints to line up with what was down here without it being quite uneven or unlevel. So in order to make sure that our wall is nice and level, we're taking it all the way back to here and we're going to try and get this corner out, and then we can rebuild the corner and we can make sure that everything flows through and looks nice and neat for the clients. It looking rather like that this garage was put on at a different stage to when the house was built. I mean, it's different brick to begin with, so that's going to be what we're doing. Unfortunately, we run into problems like this, but we just got to overcome them like any builder does. As cost effectively but with the highest of quality that you can. So we'll get this out, we'll rebuild the corner and then we'll crack on. Morning. We had some issues with our camera yesterday, so unfortunately we didn't get our wall and block wall build on video, but we've resolved them now and we should be able to continue filming as usual. So we'll get started, set up a time lapse and we will crack on. So now we are ready to get our steel in. We're going to get that bad boy onto here and up into there. We've got a step in the floor obviously, so it's going to be a bit tricky because what we're going to have to do is we're going to have to lift the front wheels of this onto here, push this forward, get the steel in between these acros because the acros are in the way, but there's not what we can do about that because they are pretty much holding the house up. So we've got to work around the acros. So we are going to lift up the wheels and get them onto here. It's only going to be tilted ever so slightly. And then what we're going to do is once we've got it in place and we don't need to move the Genie anymore, we're going to lift the back end of it up and we're going to put some blocks under the back end, brakes on, and then we're going to lift the steel and get it into place. I think this is going to take a bit of time, but putting steels in is quite difficult, so we will persevere with it and we'll get some time lapses on. We've got our steel in. We've got it into the joist, which is good, and we are bang on level. So next thing we've got to do now is we've got to get this section attached to the other crossbeam, which means we need to build this area up and then rebed that because that got knocked off in the process. So we need to get this up, and then we need to get the lintel on, and then we need to get the beam on there. Morning. So we got the steels up yesterday, and today or this morning we are going to get the rest of the block work up and the pads on to support that, and then we're going to move over to here and we're going to put that big old beast of a pad stone underneath that, and then hopefully we should be able to think about getting the building inspector in to come and inspect the steels, and when he gives the go ahead we can take this Genie and these acros down. Steels and pads are now in. We've asked for a building inspector to come and check them, give us the go ahead, and then we can get these acros down. Then you can lift them up. We've got our steel in there. We've got a damp on for our cavity tray to go above our windows. As it's just checking the levels, that way we'll transfer them across and we can determine where our height of our external garage wall is going to be, and hence our wall plates for our joists to go across. So we'll just get this internal block wall up to height, and then we'll go on the other side, finish off the brick and jump. So it's just after lunch and it's 36 degrees. We can't bricklay this. It's becoming impossible. The gobbo is drying up as soon as it hits spot board. It's making it increasingly difficult to lay bricks, increasingly difficult to point them up. So it's going to be a little bit milder on Monday, hopefully for the whole week. So we're going to call it a day today, and we will get back on Monday. I'll flip you around and you can have a look at what we've done. So we've managed to get that soldier core spare in, and we were just about to get that one in, and like I said, it was just too hot. The gobbo just wasn't, it was setting before we actually got the brick on, and then these bricks are really quite dry and they suck up all the moisture really quickly. We've been dunking them in water, but it's not really been making much difference. So we'll come back on Monday and we'll get all this lot finished. Matt doesn't like being on camera. And then we'll be looking at getting the joists in. So we'll be putting the joists into the weather steel, running them straight across onto the wall plate on this wall, because we've now got this wall at height. And then when we get to this section here, all we'll do is we'll bed them into the outer skin of this wall. And one of the other jobs that we've got to do next week as well is we have got to replace this big old metal soil pipe with a nice new plastic one. That way we can take the waste for the utility and the new bathroom as well. So we'll see you all on Monday. Happy weekend.